In the last video, I discussed Harpocrates, harpy, C rates, whore, pay, C rates. There's more than one meaning of the term rates. The rates of your reproductive cycle, your fertility rate. There's also how much you pay for these whores. Women from abroad, abroad, green cards, fertility. You kind of get the idea, war brides and so on, right? They're raping war, comfort, women, come, fort. A temple could be a fort. A fort can also be referring to the body builder. Build or berg. Build your berg. Duckburg, for example. It's stupid, but it's true. This is what they're doing. Could Jesus have been in the spirit of a woman or two who were in turn in the spirit following the idea of Helios as a relegated idea of the sun, right? A reduced idea, who followed Zeus, who first and foremost was responsible for the pecking order, the sexual order of the gods, if you will, and man. Who gets to sleep with who and why? The picking order, okay? And in order to maintain that and the flow of money and everything else that makes up and has everything to do with the picking order, right? Gold digging society, sexualized society, consumer society, right? He needs to make sure that things are ordered a certain way. So Zeus is the idea of an absolute idiot following the idea of an absolute idiot in order to order society. Panoptes, the all-seeing eye, an epithet of Helios, catches Aphrodite, Hephaestus, the blacksmith deity, his consort, Hephaestus's consort, sleeping with Ares, and he, the god of war, the Greek god of war, and his Roman equivalent Mars. And he tells Hephaestus, who catches them in an invisible net. Think about the web, the internet, dating sites, social media sites. What are all the ways to catch someone in an invisible net? You see how you have to work the angles to understand? And then there's the fallen angels who work the angles of man, who are not martial artists. In order for them to achieve a position of power, right, they would have to be martial artists, true martial artists, okay? The sun halo, right? Sun temple, martial artists. Anything other than that, any man other than that who attempts to seek a position of spiritual power and to order society, right? From that position, which a scientist doesn't truly have, right? From that position, a scientist who's not a martial artist, mind you, they are automatically demons. They are peasants who are seeking to put themselves above the natural martial art order, okay? And to work the fallen angles. The angles of those who have fallen out of grace, who convince dumb bitches that they have fallen in love using drugs, Mercury, Apollo, okay, Pan, Bacchus, Dionysus. These ideas are putting people in a trance-like state. Transcend. The trance ends. You're no longer in the trance induced by the fallen. So he puts an invisible net. And in the Odyssey, right, add I see. So, say, add I, to see, to so, to say. Odd, I, see, so, say. Odd I see, odd I so, odd I say. That's why we see a lot of weirdos, right? A lot of weirdos in our society, a lot of Hollywood weirdos, eccentrics, right? Weirdos, people dressing up like weirdos, vampires and goblins and warlocks. Crowley, weirdo. Manly P. Hall, weirdo. Michael Aquino, weirdo. Look at their eyebrows. Look at their face. Whore means face. Weirdos. They're odd. They're weird. Not because they're being sabotaged like I am. Not because they're trying to make a point with the color scheme, right? The sky god horse. White, yellow, sky blue, or the closest thing I can find to it. But because they are actually weirdos. These colors in the background, incidentally, don't represent my point of view. They were put up there long before I started emphasizing the colors as my point of view. Neither do the earlier gis I was wearing that were black. They were simply the closest thing I could find to represent my black militant view at the time. Okay, so also in the Odysseus and his surviving crew land on Thrinacia, an island sacred to Helios, who Circe calls the sun god Hyperion. So the person who's kind of has these different roles, he's hyper, right? He's not in the spirit of focusing aggression. He's just hyper. Too much sugar, too much drugs, right? Methamphetamines like the Nazis. He's hyper. You know, blonde hair, golden hair, right? Apollo, Helios, he's hyper. Okay, he's seeking to replace Ra. And he's put beneath Zeus, who thinks with his dick first and is raping women left and right like Poseidon. Okay? And the story of Medusa. Made you see, made you sow, made you say. Made you lie, in that sense. On this island, the sacred red cattle of the sun were kept, going back to Apis, the Bible, by the bull, bell, ball. Basketball, football, baseball, soccer with a ball. They used to use a human head, right? They're thinking with this world, a human head rolling around on the ground in this world. 7 herds of cattle, 7 flocks of sheep. Yeah, there were 7 flocks of sheep with 50 heads in each flock. 5 can be seen as the number of man, right? The 5-pointed star, the 5, the head, the 2 arms, the 2 legs. Okay? They do not breed or become fewer in number, and they are attended by Phaethusa and Lampetia. And who are they? The shepherds. In the story of Romulus and Remus, right? Raised by wolves and the shepherd. Right, look up that story. But who are Phaethusa and Lampetia? Well, they are daughters of Helios, who Circe calls Hyperion. Okay? By Neara. No-a-ra. Nu-a-ra. And the A as the bull. Another definitive proof that the A can be the bull or it can be the hawk, depending on whether you're lying and covering up the truth, the light, or you're telling the truth. Right? What is the way in the life? Right? What are you trying to find your life in the afterlife? Like the Egyptians preparing your entire life for death? Or you're trying to find your life in this world, in a pedophile world where Pan, Zeus, and these deities like Apollo, all, right? Ptah, right? Hephaestus, the smith, the craftsman, okay, the artisans, the illusion people. Where are you trying to find your life? How are you trying to find your life? Do you submit to the Creator? Or do you submit to pedophiles and rapists who have to drug, lie, and use psychology to get innocent men to rape, and then they throw them in prison to be raped, where a lot of them are being raped to this day? I'm not saying that everyone in prison deserves to be set free, or that they're not scum. But I am saying a certain amount of them have been set up by this powerful psychological construct, where even the name Set, right, is T's backwards. Where the T is the plus and it can be removed, you also get the word hoes. We're a bunch of hoes with high heels for the butcher, because rape and murder tend to go hand in hand. When you do it on a large scale, especially high heels. The butchers, the prostitutes of Rome. My goodness. They're teasing you with prostitutes. Every attractive woman in Western culture is taught to be a prostitute. And how many of them transcend? By Ra, how many of them transcend? And what are they doing? They're dressing like prostitutes. Why do women used to tell their daughters, go change? Now their daughters are telling their mothers, go change. It seems that way. My goodness. You know? And they're dressing like whores. And they're teasing men who are drugged into being unfocused, who are watching pornos and movies that have rape in them, Movies that inspire lust. Movie where innocent people are taken advantage of, where it is impressed upon them that all women are basically whore, stripper, prostitute, escort, sluts, the E's court, escorts. And they're being tricked into sex anyway. Why not seize them? Carpe diem! Seize the day, because the elite are doing it anyway, or you miss out on life. Hell, if you're going to be outside the divine order, why not? That is what's impressed upon them. And only the martial arts order is the solution. If there is an order of ill-gotten gains, certainly women are breeding in a reproductive cycle that they're basically being raped in a sense. They're being tricked. They're doing something they wouldn't naturally do in a natural state of mind if they had naturally grown up, right? Developed. That they wouldn't do. They would favor the martial arts and stop at nothing. Nothing moral to be with the person that they see themselves as that they should be with. And certainly someone like me would have beautiful women all over the place trying to be with them, and unattractive women really asking themselves, should I even bother to try, because it's wrong to try to trick them into being with somebody who doesn't have this high worth unless they have this profound soul and spirit, which they would be more focused to understand if they have or not. Remember, ego versus ego. A long time ago, people were in the martial arts order. And now you have to tell the E to go to reach that time. Right? Father Time. Another deity. So anyway, let's do the wordplay on their names, shall we? Is Phaethusa a good idea or not? Well, let's use their own Latin-based languages, right? Greco-Roman, right? Greek and Latin. Faux pay. Right? Faux or pay at house A. So faux at house A and pay at house A. Pay E to so. Automatically they're harlots. So when we say the whore there, well, the beast, obviously it's variations of Isis, a female who's attractive, who is serving the elite, right? They don't prefer, unattractive women, overweight, ugly, undesirable, crippled, so on and so forth, right? They're eugenicists. They want the best looking, right? Beauty as part of the Kabbalah. Beauty as part of, in Albert Pike's book, Moral and Dogma, right? They want beautiful women. Western aesthetics. The lips of Isis. Sexy hips, belly dancers. Bosoms. To please their husband, as the Bible say. The husband is pleased by his wife's breasts. My goodness. And again, they're by Hyperion, right? Children of Hyperion, the hyper-ion, right? The bull that's hyper, this big bully is hyper, right? By the new Ra, right? The idea, well, when you really look at it, right, they're not right with Ra in the truest sense of the word, but from the Egyptian perspective, right, with the A and the E, right, with Ra as the spirit of the bull, Ra, instead of the spirit of the hawk, I suppose, in that way, and the wordplay makes sense. So almost out of time, let's just shoot through the rest of this. Lampetia, right, a lamp, right, you put a light, the lamp of the world, the lamb, the lamp, okay. Lip E to A, well, how does that happen, right, reproduction, right? Lie, put I-A, lie, pit I-A, put the true A in a pit, in a bowl, so to speak. Okay, so you lie and you put the eye of the E or the eye of the bowl. The loop E-I-A. It's an E reproductive cycle with the eye of the bull. Lame pet I. A is the bull or the E, right? Prophet, pro-pet versus the lame pet, which is got from this process, which in this case, in this ritual, or perhaps in every ritual, since pan means all, includes a degree of Lampetia and Phaethusa, who are children of Hyperion by Nereid. Now, Odysseus warned his men not to eat these sacred cattle, but when supplies ran short, they ate some of these cattle. The daughters that I've just talked about, Phaethusa and Lampetia, tell Helios, who in turn tells Zeus that they will take the sun and shine it in the underworld. Zeus destroys all the men in the ship with lightning, but Odysseus, what does it mean for them to take the sun and to shine it in the underworld? Well, this has everything to do with the reproductive cycle. Thank you.